How do you see things with the backup catcher competition?
It is just that, competition. You got varying degrees of experience back there. Susak comes from a really good baseball family, and I think one thing we talked about, I believe it was yesterday, the days bleed together a little bit already, but the importance of rapport and character, how you go about your business back there, and obviously Haas has, got a strong reputation for that. So right now it's kind of fun. I mean, options are always a good thing, and I think we have some back there, and then also I've spoken before how much I like competition. I think internally you got some guys that'll push each other.
Do you look for a defensive first backup, or when you have somebody who's such an elite defender like Bailey as your primary catcher, do you maybe want more offense there?
We'll see as things, as I navigate through games on personal opinion, but as it stands now, my background has always been defense first with that position, especially my college career started being a pitching coach, and rather than blame the pitchers if something went wrong, I would just blame the catchers. It's kind of the easy way out. But those guys are so essential in so many different ways. But if they can contribute defensively, then everything they do offensively, to me, is icing on the cake.
When you looked at Patrick's last 2 seasons, defensively he's off the charts. Offensively he's been very hit and miss. How do you evaluate what he's done at the plate the last 2 years?
Well, I think you look at his BP and just in a handful of conversations with him, nothing crazy in depth. I think he feels really good about where he's at with his swing, what he's done in the offseason, but he hasn't tinkered or restructured anything because, again, going back to watching his BP, it's a clean swing. Quite frankly, impressive, watching him swing the bat. So a lot of it comes down to mentality. And it's not just about being a confident hitter or having the right approach mentally in an at-bat. It's managing the weight of the catcher's gear, literally, but more figuratively of that position. It's a balancing act that I never had to do as a player, but I got a lot of respect for those guys that have to grind every day. And so I think it's just finding, now he's got repetitions built up. And as a hitter at any level, repetitions are the most valuable thing. And I think as you mature as a hitter, as the benefit of those reps, you become better. And I think he's right now trying to figure out or solve that puzzle of what's the best balance of, his approach at the plate and also carrying the load he does defensively.
How much do you think the ABS system will potentially affect his game defensively?
I think that's been asked in a variety of ways. I've seen guys ask Buster how it would have affected him when he was, and I don't think we know until we see it. You can come up with guesstimations, but the bottom line is if I'm a pitcher, I'd want to throw to that guy. And that's an overly simple statement, but I think it's also one of value.
How much, when you're looking at a backup, would familiarity with the system, is that something that you are looking at or value or take into consideration?
A little bit, but I at that point I think it just becomes more about who's the best person for the job.